Welcome back to Go Winnipeg. Once again, we're here on the beach. It's all part of the Gimli Film Fest. And I'd like to introduce now local filmmaker Aaron Floresco. And Aaron, you have 2 films here at the festival, correct?
That's correct. I have the first film will be showing tomorrow, which is Friday, 12:30. It's called One Gay City, A History of LGBT Life in Winnipeg. And then the second film will be shown on the Saturday, also as part of a program of shorts at 12:30 called Fred Heads.
Oh, okay, so let's start with Fred Heads, about our favorite Fred Penner. So I guess a little bit about the film and why you decided to make a doc on Fred Penner.
The documentary looks at Fred's grown-up fans, the people that grew up watching him on his show Fred Penner's Place and listening to his music, throughout the 80s and 90s. They're now adults, and Fred, for the past few years, has been doing these grown-up shows at bars, universities, and pubs. And so it's about these fans as adults interacting with their childhood icon, and how they deal with that, and how Fred deals with this relationship. So it's a look at that. Yeah, it was great.
I know, and thank you for making something about this man, because he means so much to the city. Now we'll move on to your other movie, One Gay City. I guess, why did you want to, or what was the message that you wanted to get out with this film?
That film, it's a look at the, as the title suggests, it's a look at the history of LGBT life in Winnipeg, mostly looking at the 20th century, sort of going from starting around the 1940s to the present, of how starting as this sort of underground life that was had to be lived to being a more out and open society today, and sort of how that came about. You go back to the 1960s when homosexuality was illegal in Canada. I mean, people being imprisoned for being gay. That's not an issue anymore, and just I think you've seen a lot more acceptance and understanding amongst society in Winnipeg and Canada on the whole for it. So yeah.
2 great films. Thank you so much, Aaron, for bringing them here to the festival. And before we go, I love Aaron because I actually made a spot in Fred Heads.
Well, part of what was being covered with that documentary, we were covering the Junos when they were in Winnipeg, and so we did get a little bit of footage of you chatting with Fred.
And I didn't make it to the editing floor. I actually made it onto the screen. Well, you've got to come out and see Aaron's films. Thanks so much, Aaron. Enjoy the weekend here.
Great. You too.
Okay, and don't go away. Now we're going to introduce you to another filmmaker, Nihad Ademi.